Welcome back, my legends, and today in honor of the World Cup, I decided to put the legends against each other into two teams and see who will win in the soccer field. Yeah, that's right, I call it soccer, just like how this is called a pawn shop, a refrigerator, and don't even get me started on this. And so, we're gonna do a typical squad build. At the beginning, it's gonna be a 4-3-3, and we're going to see which legends will go up against who. And so in Team A, we're going to start with the goalie position. Now, our goalie for Team A is going to be Newcastle. It makes the most sense that Jackson will be the goalie. He's all about protecting his squad mates and defending. And so I decided to make him in FIFA 23. Obviously, they're not going to look exactly like the legends. I tried my best. This is kind of like that one meme where that one kid asks for something and then the mom says, yeah, we have that at home. And so this is going to be Newcastle if he was on FIFA 23. Kind of reminds me of Tim Howard. Pretty sure it's because of the beard. But yeah, if there was going to be anybody that was going to be goalie, it was going to be Newcastle. And so for our defensive line, we're going to start off with the left center back, and that's going to be Alexander Knox, also known as Caustic. And so same thing, I tried to make him in FIFA 23, and he kind of came out looking like somebody familiar. I can't put my finger on it, but yeah, this is basically going to be Caustic. If I do this mask mode, I mean, he kind of looks like him, right? And so for our right center back, I decided to put Rampart to help defend. She's going to have the speed and agility, and most importantly, her craziness when it comes down to holding her line. And so this is what she will look like in the game. It does not really look like her, but she does have the same energy, I will say that. And so next person on this team is going to be Seer. He's going to play right back. It makes sense that he'll be next to Rampart since they're kind of like partners in crime and know each other really well. And so this is what Seer will look like if he was in FIFA. Now, if you give this guy Seer's hat, it totally looks like him, right, guys? Please tell me the hours I spent doing this was not for nothing. And so the next position we're going to talk about is left back, and this is going to be Vantage. Now, originally this was going to be Revenant's position, but then I realized that realistically speaking, nobody will really want to play with Revenant. And so because of that, Revenant's going to be in the bench with Forge. And so this is what Vantage would look like if she was in FIFA, which I think I did a good job. She has that Dora Tank Explorer kind of vibe. And so for the midfield for Team A, we're going to start out with Horizon in the left side. Makes sense to me. She'll be a midfield player where she can decide to either go back and help the defense or support the offense. And while I was making her in FIFA 23, I had a bit of trouble with her hairstyle. Nothing really fit her exactly. And so in the end, I kind of gave up and decided, you know what, this is what Horizon would look like in FIFA 23. A stereotypical soccer mom that's single. And so the next position we're going to talk about is going to be Valkyrie. She's going to play in the midfield central. Now, I see her more as an attacking player than anything and kind of fits her playstyle. But when I was making her in FIFA 23, I noticed that I either made her too tomboyish or too lesbian. And so at the end of the day, I decided to call it and just made her too Karen-ish. And so the next legend that's going to be in the midfield, it's going to be Mirage. Now, I feel like originally Mirage would have showed off and be like, see, I don't need a team. I can just make 10 more of myself. And then what happens is that somebody kicks the ball, goes through the decoy, and hits Mirage him. And so this is what Mirage is going to look like in FIFA 23. It kind of looks like him, not really. And so the next position we're going to talk about are the forwards now. And so for Team A, the left wing is going to be played by Octane. Now, Octane's one of the fastest legends. Not only that, he's probably the closest thing to an actual football player because in one of his emotes, we see that he's dribbling not a ball, but an actual Thermite. And so Octane not only has the speed, the dribbling, but he also has flair. And so for Teams A right wing, it's going to be Wraith. Now, it makes sense. She's not only fast and agile, but you just need that killer instinct. You need to be cold-blooded. And unfortunately for me, when I was making Wraith in FIFA 23, she came out looking like an average white girl that wants pumpkin spice or something. But as long as she has the agility, we're all good. And so for Team A striker, you need somebody that has speed, agility, awareness, and most importantly, aggression. And what better candidate than Mad Maggie? I mean, Maggie's the definition of a menace. She literally bit off somebody's neck just because he looked at her funny. If you want somebody that has aggression and will fight to score, it's going to be Maggie. And so in FIFA 23, this is the closest thing I got to her. It kind of looks like her. I mean, you can kind of see the craziness. And so this is going to be Team A squad. If you're wondering who the captain is Maggie because nobody else wanted it. And so for Team B, we're going to start out at the goalie position. It's going to be Gibraltar. It makes sense, just like Newcastle, they both want to help people. They're both defensive. So it makes sense that he also will be a goalie. And also in FIFA 23, I actually got very close to kind of making him look like him, but I was actually happy with the way he looked in the end. And so for Team B's defense, we're going to start out with the left center back, and that's going to be Pathfinder. Now, Pathfinder is the perfect fit to be a defender. He's big, tall, and strong, fast, and agile. He's pretty much the perfect defender you can have. In FIFA, you can't have a robot, so I try to make him look human. And so at first I thought maybe I should make him look like Chris Edgerly, his voice actor, but then I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna make him a tall white guy and call it a day. And so this is Pathfinder if he was human. And so with the right center back, it's going to be Watson. Now, some of you might think this is some kind of joke. No, Watson is going to play center back because she's tougher than she looks, and also no one's going to try hard on her. I mean, imagine actually try harding really hard against Watson. Do you really want to see her cry? And so in FIFA 23, this is what Watson will look like, but hey, it is what it is. And so for left back, we have Watson's future boyfriend. It's going to be Crypto. Now, Crypto playing left back makes a lot of sense to me. Not only can these two work together, but they're pretty much one of the smartest legends in the game. And so this is what Crypto would look like in the game if he was in FIFA. Again, not the best, but I can kind of see it. Not really. And so next we have Catalyst. So we're going to create a female character, and so Catalyst is going to play left back. And honestly, her creation was just a nightmare because there was nothing that made her look exactly like her, but at the very least, at least she's female, so I got that right. And so for the midfield for Team B, we're going to start off with Lifeline, just like her character in game, which she's a support character. I can see her playing in the middle, and so this is what Lifeline actually will look like in FIFA. And I gotta say, it does kind of look like her out of all the other characters I made. And so the next person playing in midfield is going to be, he doesn't have the speed to be a forward, but I can see him being a good playmaker and slash second option offensive wise. And so making Fuse was pretty fun in FIFA because there was more like options to go by. And so in the end, I decided to make Fuse look like this. And you know, if you give him an eye patch here and there and some scars, he looks like young Fuse. And so the last midfielder that's going to go on B team is going to be Lova. Now, making her in FIFA was basically mission impossible. How do you go from this to somehow making her look like this in FIFA? Impossible. And so I tried my best. I did somehow find like a hairstyle that actually matched her, but for some reason it's tied together. I don't understand why they did that. And so this is what Lova would look like if she was in FIFA. Not exactly herself in the game, but I think it's close enough for like the limitations that this game has. And so for our forward, starting on the left wing, it's going to be Bangalore, which she's going to be in the left side, just like Wraith, which these two had somewhat of a rivalry lore wise. And so it only makes sense they'll go up against each other. And this is what Bangalore would look like in FIFA. And yeah, there's not much to say about this. And so for the right wing, who will be the person crazy enough to go up against Octane? And that would be Ash. Now, luckily for Octane, we're going to use Ash's human form as Ashley Reed. This is what Ash would look like if she was in FIFA. And so at the very least, at least she has Ash's agility. And so you're probably wondering, Kevin, who is crazy enough to go up against Maggie? It's the person that stole Fuse from her. It's going to be Bloodhound. And honestly, it makes a whole lot of sense because Bloodhound not only has the speed, but also has the skills, but none of that crazy that Maggie has. Now, I'm not going to show what Bloodhound will look like because obvious reasons, but let me know, my legends, who you think which of these teams will win. I try to make it the most balanced and fair team that go up against each other. This honestly feels like a 50-50 coin flip, and let me know what positions will you put the legends on, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.